Hi Slingers, thanks for tuning in again. This time I actually have some actual big news, and you were really sort of the first people I wanted to share it with. So a couple of weeks ago, my wife Karen and I decided to go look at RVs, which is not uncommon. We do that pretty frequently because this is a goal of ours. We decided about a year ago that we were going to sell our home and we were going to get into an RV full time. Now, over the course of that year, we actually did manage to sell our home. Now, it took most of that year to do that. But once the house was sold, we didn't feel comfortable moving directly into an RV. We still had a lot of stuff. We're still downsizing. What we did was we got a storage unit and we got an apartment. A one-bedroom apartment, which is where that's where we are right now. And we've spent the past 6 months in this apartment. Right? So we've really kind of enjoyed it here. And in fact, we were starting to kind of wonder, like, do we want to branch out? Do we want to get into an RV full time? Because that's a smaller space. But the truth is, as much as we enjoy the apartment, there's still this goal to travel full time. Now we had an Aliner camper. And I think I just gave something away, but we actually had this little camper that we could pull behind my truck, and we did branch out quite a bit. We went and camped and stayed at campgrounds all across the southern U.S. for our anniversary, our 10-year anniversary in January, and that was an experience. We really enjoyed that, but it kind of was like an appetizer. We weren't getting the full meal with that. So what we decided to do was look around and see maybe there was a smaller RV that we could afford that we could get into. We kind of had this feeling we were going to wait until October or maybe early 2017 to get into one. So we weren't in a rush. We've gone to RV shows. We've gone to RV dealers. We've even looked at some privately owned RVs. And on this particular Saturday, we went and we were actually looking at like road trek vans. These are the small Class B motorhomes that are really tiny. I mean, they're a van basically with a small kitchen and a small bed in it, and that's your whole lifestyle right there. Now, we weren't going to live in that full time, but we considered it actually, and we thought, well, what's the worst that could happen? We live in this full time, we get tired of it, and we end up having to sleep in bed and breakfast more often. Something, we would have made do. But what ended up happening was we stumbled across an RV that we had actually been looking for almost a year ago and couldn't find. The model we ended up looking at was a Thor Challenger 37KT. Now, if you look on YouTube, there's plenty of video about this thing. One of the features we really liked was that it had 3 individual divided living spaces. And that opens up a lot of opportunities for us, not the least of which is I can use the front space in the mornings as sort of a lockable, not lockable, but a private office of sorts where I can close the door. And I don't keep Kara from doing her routine. I don't keep her from getting up and having breakfast. It's just me in this space, and I can get a couple of hours to myself without interruption. So that was a big deal, and we liked that. But we never could find that actual RV anywhere so that we could actually look at it and see if it fit our needs. So we ended up going to Holiday World in Katy, Texas. There's a whole other story there, and I'm just going to say I don't recommend it. I don't want to come down on them too hard, but let's just say that customer service ended about the moment we signed the paperwork. All that aside, and that's a story for another day, but we actually found the RV that we had been looking for, and there were all these signs, all these things kept happening. For one thing, we decided we would get it. I mean, what was the worst that could happen? So we offered up my truck and the A-Liner camper as part of the trade-in. We offered up some cash out of pocket, and what ended up happening was we got approved. So now we're approved for this RV, and we decided, well, we'll go ahead and sign the paperwork, which we did last week. And we actually spent the weekend in it at their built-in campground, kind of testing it out. And it was amazing. It was exactly the experience that I guess we hoped it would be. It was everything we hoped it would be. So now we're getting ready to start that life. We're not going to jump in immediately. We actually have a lease on this apartment through October 2016. And once that's up, we're going to move in. We're really excited about this. I can't tell you how excited I am about it. And one of the biggest reasons is that the more we travel, the more people I meet, the more stories I gather, and the better my writing seems to get. So that's a big part of this. So the whole idea is to have a mobile writing lifestyle, a portable life as I call it. And we're there. I mean, we're getting really close. We're still tethered to Houston for now, but we're getting so much closer. Now, one way you could actually help is to buy my books. And that's kind of self-serving, but that's my career. So if you'd like to hear more about the whole RV lifestyle, you're going to hear that. Trust me, it's coming. But if you want to facilitate that so we can have better stories and bigger stories, then help me spread the word about my books. The more book income I have, the better. And, well, that's true of anything, right? But this is my career. It's more than just my dream. I've been doing this full time now for a couple of years, and we are almost there. We're so close. So if you can help me spread the word, go to kevintumlinson.com/books. Find a book you like, pick it up. Most of the prices are pretty reasonable. And let me know about it. Write a review about it on Amazon. But also share that with people. Share it with family and friends. I would really appreciate that. It helps me a lot. And this whole RV lifestyle it's not the goal of our lives. It's just a big part of what we're doing right now. We have this mountain, that as we call it, this dream of a life, and we're so much closer to it today than we ever have been. We are living parts of it already. This RV is a big part of that. You can help support that. That's it. No more plugs, but thank you so much for listening, for taking the time and watching this video. Thank you to everyone who comments and sends me emails. You guys are amazing. I've had so many great things said to me over the past week, and at one point I kind of teared up. I mean, because you guys say some really nice stuff. So thank you so much. And you're right. Those of you who pointed this out, there were 2 or 3 people who said made a comment similar to this, but you're absolutely right. I do want to help people with what I do. And part of that is, I do want to entertain people because I'm a fiction writer. But I have this belief that fiction sort of feeds our souls and helps us to grow as human beings as much as anything else we might become involved with. So that's part of why I do this. I have to be a storyteller. It's just built into me. And writing books was just a natural fit for me. But everything that I do and everything that I produce, it's for you. So I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. So help me to continue to make more of it. I really appreciate that. So visit me online at kevintumlinson.com. If you want 3 free books, you can do that by going to kevintumlinson.com/starter library, and there's a link to that definitely in the YouTube show notes. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see you next time, Slingers. I appreciate everything you do. God bless. See you next time.